The Russian people love it. That's why he presents himself as a man who's capable of taking on any challenge and succeeding. He's Russia's action man, or, as Trump might say, a guy who definitely isn't a loser.
And there's lots more analysis from Peter Koch of Putin and other political leaders in our special programme, Uncovered by Language Secrets, today here on Sky News, 11:30, then again 8:30 this evening. Let's talk about the papers again, should we? Journalist Sharif Nashibi and comedian, what comedian do I call you?
Don't mind,
Don't
whatever.
mind. Kate's here, Kate's most rare.
Yeah, Kate, just Kate will do.
Brilliant. What should we start with now?
So I'm just looking at the front page of the Telegraph and this story about what we do with leftover food.
Right.
And Michael Gove is saying that we need to do something more about it, which is great, although it's also kind of one of those things, you know, when politicians say we need to do more about it, and you think, yes, a politician should do something about it. Maybe you, mate. But the situation is that because we've got these green energy incentives, which I think are great, what's happening to waste food from the food industry is it's being sent to these anaerobe digesters that turn into fuel, which is all very well, except that we've got all these hungry people who need feeding. It turns out that charities really struggling, hospices, homeless shelters, women's refuges, really need food, and instead of which we're actually sending it all off to be recycled into gas and into fuel that we use for...
That must only take a tweak, surely, to
Exactly.
To
it's one of those things where we just need to adjust the incentive. And it seems like the issue really is that we should be trying to make green energy out of waste from the food industry, but not usable waste. We should be using the husks and, you know, the parts of the plants that we can't eat. Let's turn those into fuel, and let's see if we can take the things that we can eat and use them to feed those that need it. I mean, there's a big issue as well about how we reduce, you know, hunger in general, and how we can create a more equal society where there's less need for this stuff. But it seems like there is a really short and easy fix, and the government have identified it, but now is the time to actually solve it.
You've talked to us about this story in The Guardian, a story we've been covering here on Sky News this morning.
Yeah, so Laura Plummer, her trial in Egypt has been postponed because she unintentionally pleaded guilty to charges of drug trafficking.
Yeah. Tramadol in her case is not illegal here, it is, but she did have 300.
Yeah.
And she says that her boyfriend's got a bad back, and that's what it was for.
Yeah. My problem is, though, look, if you're going to take almost 300 pills of anything to another foreign country, you really need to check whether that could get you in trouble. It's not really about whether you agree with the law of the country you're going to, but, you know, if you're facing potential jail time, you're taking hundreds of anything, please check whether that's going to get you in trouble.
Yeah, when I read this, my first... reaction was complete sympathy for her, because I've been prescribed Tramadol myself in the past for pain, and I just thought, oh, it'd be so easy to have one tablet left in the bottom of your bag. And then I read to the bottom of the story and said, 290? Yeah. Surely you'd check, you know, surely you'd check. It's really unfortunate when